What's going on? Thank you for having me on here. Jon V, aka the LRG Villain of the Year. Those that don't know, I'm from Brooklyn, New York. This would be my 15th LRG in the span of 2 years. Uh,
Wow.
so I think I earned the right to call myself an LRG whore. I started playing these games because of my brother Tyler, who I just played a Survivor game with. He introduced me to the community. I played a game called Penthouse. Played season 4. That was my first LRG. It didn't take long for me to realize I was really bad at the house games, so I pivoted to Survivor LRGs. I played Survivor New York season 6, and then from there it's just been like whatever Survivor game comes out, I'm there to play. And I feel like I'm the west of, MTV's west of the LRGs. Either I go out real early because of my reputation, or if I get past that first swap, I'm going to the end. Two, I would say Survivor Bloomington. Just like the host, Casey, is just like an amazing person. Like you can see how like passionate he is about the game, and I went pretty far in that one. And Outlast was one of the hardest games I ever played. That was the first time I actually got starved. I lost like 15 pounds, had to poop outside for the first time. So like Outlast, no food. It was like real survivorish. So I think those two are like my top tier ones. See, on the contrary, I'm not a big Survivor fan.
Okay.
I've only seen a number of Survivor seasons. I played my first two Survivor LRGs, which was New York and Outlast, before watching any Survivor at all. I grew up watching Road Rules versus the Real World, so I was a big challenge fan. From like when Miz was back there, when CT was there. What we could say about the challenge now and like the caucus challenge and any LRG Survivor game is, I think more it was people were trying to prove themselves. I know when I first came, I was willing to leave a spleen on the floor. I still am. It's like I want to be that team player, show that, if we lose, you can vote me out, stuff like that. But now I think people are more not entitled, but they want to protect their reputation. People are not trying to put up a shut up. They're trying to skate to the end and not see an elimination, or even if they go to every tribal, they're trying to have the majority of the alliance. They're not trying to shake anything up because they're trying to preserve their brand or their character. I think
Correct.
that's where how these games are headed. So coming into Stranded, I don't know what the demographics is going to be, what's going to be the dynamic. I don't know what's going to happen, so I'm always ready for whatever. But I think whoever recognizes me, I just have to live up to my reputation. Yeah, all right, I am a big person. I can be a shield. You know what? I need to just utilize that more. And if I see other big names, instead of trying to take them out, maybe work together. I might just pull what a Tony did in season 40. We're sharks. No, what you said, we're lions and then hyenas. Let's keep the lions safe and go after the hyenas. So that might be my gameplay, depending on who's there. And if it's people who don't recognize me, hey, I played 1 or 2 games. I don't really get far. I really, whatever I got to do. It's a game of Survivor. You got to lie sometimes. Someone I wouldn't want to see. I wouldn't even say someone I wouldn't want to see. I want all the smoke. So whoever I have beef with, this is how I gauge myself as a player. The people that are top players are people that are my enemies. Let's see when we match up what's our placements. So if I see you in a game, just know it's on site, and I just keep it like that. But there's a lot. There's a lot. So Stranded. All right. So the length of the game, you can't starve us that much. So that was the first thing. I think it would be a star. We have no tarp. We don't even have a camp yet. But I think more or less, we're stranded. We don't know what tribe we're on. We don't know what we're doing. We're all gonna get a prompt, and we have to make it to a certain area. And when you get to that stage, then you figure out what's the next clues. And I feel like it might be one of those games where maybe the end game is you got to make a map to get to the tribe, and if you make it to one of the 2 campsites, then you're in the game. If you don't, then you got purged right away. I'm thinking something more or less of like a big scavenger hunt, and you don't want to be last type of format. Survivor mentality, nowhere to hide, small fucking tribes where you can't be like, there's 8 or 9 of us, let's throw the heat on someone else. Think it's small tribes. Maybe you might throw a curveball. It might be a cast of 15 and it's 3 tribes of 5 to start off, or nowhere to hide where you're gonna be in a tribe with people who know exactly who the fuck you are or seen you in a game before. So those are my two big clues. My girlfriend has me watching Pretty Little Liars, so I think I'm a detective now. So that's what I'm gonna guess. So one that I've seen is it was the one that I played was Bloomington Order versus Chaos, where we each got to draw a bounty in the beginning, and if you collect on your bounty, you get whatever advantages they have.
Stepping as my bounty. Oh, that's actually he gets 3 keys. He gets nice, good. He has power. I don't want to have it anymore.
One of my allies had my bounty. I kept him close until it was time to collect on him before he collected on me. So that's something which can bring a whole different dynamic, which if you're like, well, I'm at the bottom and I have one friend, but if I go after them, I could get 4 keys plus my 2 keys and now it's an idol. That's a crazy twist. Just usual, just like regular calisthenic workouts. Because I have like this crazy philosophy and these LRGs where I don't want to be the tribe who doesn't go to tribal early on. Because I feel like that's where you really make bonds and you find out who really has your back. Unlike other people who just keep winning, and then a merge happens or a swap, and then they're like, oh shit, I went out. And they're like, I was playing such a good game, but you don't get to build those dire relationships. Like when everyone's backs against the wall, you get to see who they really are. And so I don't do any training like I need to learn a puzzle because I really don't care about any of that. Like if I can win one individual immunity and a couple tribe immunities, like in a couple of first rounds, I'm fine with that. And I just think my social gameplay and just like my physicality will take me the rest of the way. Strength is definitely endurance. If I have to lift anything, I think I'm a good like communicator. Like if I'm vibing with my tribe, you hear me, I'm like a coach. I'm like that dad at the softball game. Like run, run. You're right there. Like I think I could bring that, and I know how to tone it back. Like I'm not someone who's like, all right, this guy's annoying, yelling in our ear. I think that's a strong trait. I think being from New York, I could read the room. Like I could tell when someone's bullshitting me. Like I don't need to have a 10-minute conversation, and I'll cut it short and be like, all right, I'm not getting any info from this person. Or you know, when you first go up to someone, you're like, so what's the plan? What's the name? They're like, oh, I don't know. What are you hearing? Once I hear that, I'm like, done. I'm not even speaking to that person more. So I think just that natural ability, being a New Yorker, like that's a strong part of my game. Weak part is swimming. Shit, I can't swim for nothing. And puzzles, I am so bad at puzzles, but there's always someone that's good at puzzles. So we could probably divide it. Like you do the puzzle, I'll do the running, I'll do the eating, whatever. But yeah, puzzles is swimming. Weakness. Me and Susie have a secret to share. This could be an opportunity right here. We're not working together. Maybe we're enemies. Maybe Susie has more power than me. Maybe I have more power than Susie. This is where I start to become a stockbroker. What can I get from you? What can I give you? That's why I feel like when you find an idol, whoever's around, you guys are joined. Like you're Siamese twins. Or I might even give Susie the idol. Did you hear any other names? Whatever names you heard and died, that's who I'm gonna try to flip it to at that moment. So if you're saying it's Susie, and I'm like, how about Greg? I might just lie and be like, this person says it's gonna be Greg. I'm gonna just try to stir it up. But yeah, I think it also depends on who has the majority and what round it is. Because if it's a round where I'm like, all right, the numbers look like it's gonna be a swap or a merge soon, and me doing too much to save Susie is gonna fuck up my game or jeopardize me, Susie might have to go. I mean, I got a lot of good friends from playing Survivor games, but I always say I won't actively go for someone that I have a friendship with early on. So we get down to final 8, I feel like it's anybody's game. I mean, last game I played, I tried to vote my girlfriend out twice, and I love her, so these are just friends. So, I mean, yeah, friendships are cool, but like I think game recognizes game. Like if you got me out in a game move, like if you lied to me in an aspect of the game, then I respect it. If it's something more personal, then I might take it personal. But if it's a game and I'm like, I understand why you did it, then I don't care, because I would do the same. I want to come into this game kind of moving a little bit away from the villain arc, and just kind of go back to like how I played earlier games, like ready to leave a spleen on the floor, like ready to leave a spleen on the field. Like I'm gonna do whatever I have to win, and hopefully my like strong gameplay and like being like a hero will keep me in the game longer because I feel like this game I might encounter people who do know me, so I need to change the perspectives. And a lot of times when I do go to the end, I lose because of being a villain. So I'm just gonna kind of switch the narrative a little. I think that's what I'm aiming for this time.
Gotcha. Well, will Jon survive being stranded? Only time will tell.
Pause.